nta.ng.
At the end of a tunnel for Nigeria, just as Iranian embassy in Nigeria champions girl child education and the role of women in nation building. Plus, Taraba State commences airlift of intending pilgrims for the 2016 Hajj exercise. These and more on today's Panorama with me, Rhoda Obu. Many thanks for joining us. Now, there is no doubt that the country is facing huge challenges, but the trust, perseverance and faith, they can be overcome. This was the view of clerics at Sunday service held at the Aso Villa Chapel, where Vice President Yemi Oshibajo and his household worshipped. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Just recently, Nigerians, irrespective of religion, united and insisted on a change that would usher in incorruptible leaders. This change came with the election of President Muhammadu Buhari, whose integrity is globally acknowledged. This faith in the present leadership and God's ability to make things happen above all challenges is what clerics at the Aso Villa Chapel are admonishing Nigerians to keep alive, as they say the nation would soon overcome its present challenges. The chaplain of the chapel, Sheyi Malomon, in his sermon, notes that though there may be seeming overwhelming circumstances that may provoke the casting away of one's confidence, Nigerians need to keep their faith in God. His sermon was followed by a prayer session for Nigeria by the congregation, which include Vice President Yemi Oshibajo and his wife, Dolapo.
Let the whole of Nigeria feel your power at this hour right now by the authority of the name that is above every other name.
Also among the congregation were members of the World Council of Churches.
Share the love of God in our daily life. We are here to live together in peace, in harmony, and therefore let us show that our faith, whether we are Muslims or Christians, really motivate us for this life together.
Without faith, it is impossible to get anything done. Without trusting in the God who created Nigeria, without trusting in the God who created human beings, without
of Abuja, Reverend Alomoko says, is the essence of the Cultural Day celebration.
We are gathering here to be able to appreciate the culture in which we all have been born in which we live, and in which we profess our faith.
Our responsibility as committed Catholics to do everything in our little way to support, bring more souls to the Catholic Church.
Reverend Patrick Alomoko also said the program would create more insight into tradition of the Catholic Church. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
Now, President Family for World Peace Federation has emphasized the need for peace amongst Nigerians. He made the call during the commemoration of the 4th anniversary transition of the founder of the Universal Peace Federation in Abuja. Joseph Johnson reports.
He may have passed on for 4 years, but Reverend Moon's legacies and ideals live on through the thoughts and actions of his ambassadors across the world. Commemorating the day with the theme, Nigeria Stand for Peace, the President Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, Mr. Ugurie, told journalists in Abuja that despite the many challenges currently faced by Nigerians, working together wholeheartedly will break down the barriers that divide and discourage threats of division from various quarters.
When we live our lives for the greater whole, then that has a higher value, a higher meaning than living for the individual or the next level.
If I live for your sake, you live for my sake, this nation will change.
Some journalists who participated in an international leadership conference at Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, co-sponsored by the Federation, shared their experiences.
It's basically how to change the narratives, how the media can begin to promote dialogue rather than confrontation, and use their various organizations to set agenda for discourse.
In 2005, Reverend Moon said, if Nigeria moves, Africa will move. And if Africa moves, the world will move in peace. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Iranian embassy in Nigeria is championing the cause of enlightening Nigerian women on girl-child education and the role of women in nation building. The cultural section of the embassy organized a one-day seminar in Abuja to prefer solutions to achieve the set objectives. Ilyasu Ali Yakub completes the report.
The seminar has the theme Girl, Child and National Growth from the educational, moral, ethical and social-religious perspectives as regards women and nation building. Iranian ambassador to Nigeria, Motez Rahimi, emphasized the need for women to take their pride of place as provided by the Holy Quran. He said Allah has in many chapters of the Holy Quran spoken on the virtues of a woman which must be respected in all ramifications.
The role that has been assigned to the women to build up a society is unique.
The Islam as a big religious in all over the world is trying to upgrade the situation of the women.
The women, they should be empowered, they should be highly educated, because when they are educated, they know exactly what Allah said, what Allah decreed for them.
That the woman is an institution. He said the woman is a university. You know, you train one woman, if he has 7 children, the whole of them will be trained.
A woman must be included in the process of nation building.
The seminar drew participants from the religious and other organizations to consolidate on the woman's position in the scheme of things. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakub, NTA News.
When parents are more receptive towards their children on sex education, it prevents them from getting wrong answers and ideas from their peer groups and other sources. This was a session during the launch of a book titled The Peculiar Girl, organized by the Living Hope for Women and Youth Foundation in Abuja. The book reviewer, Dr. Gbadamosi Olatunde, said the book is a must-have for youth and parents alike.
In page 9, I recognize that they need someone to give honest answers without laughing at or judging them. As they grow up, these girls need friends in whom they can open up their hearts and confide in.
The author, Naman Philemon Cash, emphasized the need for parents not to shy away from the responsibility of teaching their children the right concept on good morals.
The girl child is that creature that needs to be nurtured right from birth, because there's a lot in her that if it is not well nurtured and if it is tempered with, it could affect that mother in the future.
Books like this, if you go through them, you find out that there could be a key to that added value that you need to your life.
It's not just beneficial for children alone, it's also beneficial for mothers. It made counseling a child easy.
She has passion for reading, passion for writing. I want to emulate from her.
The book dwells on early enlightenment of the girl child and basic realities of life. As the World Breastfeeding Week comes to an end, mothers are encouraged to engage in exclusive breastfeeding for mental and healthy development of their babies, as well as to guard against ailments. This was the thrust of discussions at the closing ceremony of the World Breastfeeding Week organized by the Ministry of Defense in Abuja. Ali Tukuru has more.
Breastfeeding, especially exclusive for the first 6 months of life, has been shown to prevent diseases such as diarrhea and respiratory infections in the baby, as well as breast and ovarian cancers in the mother. It also helps develop the child's intelligence and lowers the tendency of developing into a violent adult. Despite all these benefits, it is said that only 17% of nursing mothers in Nigeria practice exclusive breastfeeding. To encourage breastfeeding, Ministry of Defense organized series of sensitization programs within the week to educate mothers on the importance.
That first breast milk that comes out is like the first immunization that the baby gets, because that's all the antibodies that the baby needs for protection.
Since I've had her, she has not had diarrhea, she has not had vomiting, she has not had any form of disease.
Beyond health, the economic implication, according to the World Health Organization, is that lack of breastfeeding has cost the world over $300 billion in 2012. These can be linked to monies spent in settling hospital bills as a result of ailment.
When we have healthy children, we will have more productive people and in turn a better nation.
Highlights of the event include presentation of gifts to mothers who engage in exclusive breastfeeding by the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association to help support breastfeeding mothers. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
All right, here's just a quick reminder that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Up ahead, flood claims 6 lives in Nasarawa State. Details when we come back.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. A former Minister of Power and Steel, Dr. Olu Aguloye, has emerged as the standard-bearer of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, ahead of the November 26 governorship election in Ondo State. He emerged during the party's primary election in Akure, the state capital. Dakmo Daramola reports.
Accreditation of delegates from the 18 local government areas of Ondo State and voting were each free
At the end of the election, the deputy national chairman of the party, who supervised the primary, announced the results and declared the winner.
After voting, after sorting, counting and voting, has been declared winner and is the flag bearer of SDP.
The SDP standard bearer, Dr. Oluwakunloye, promised to work for the state and our people.
And I believe that the good people of Ondo State will now believe and know that what is important at this time is about trustworthiness, about integrity, and about ability to deliver for the people of Ondo State.
The Ondo State chairman of the party, Chief Korede Duile, and some delegates spoke on the outcome of the election.
They said that the whole program has gone on very well. No hitch, no violence, nothing untoward that had happened here.
It was so beautiful, so nice, no problem anywhere, no chaos anywhere. We thank God at the end that we have chosen our candidate.
It was fine, beautiful, wonderfully conducted, without any issues.
INEC officials were on ground to monitor the election, while security presence was noticed at the venue. In Akure, Damola, NTA News.
Communities residing around Karo New Layout in Nasarawa State are living in fear as floods claimed 6 lives in the area recently. Governor Umaru Tango Al-Makura, on a sympathy visit to the community, directed the relocation of residents to avert a similar disaster. Abdullahi Garba Benumkudu has the situation report.
This is the situation at Karuni Layout as the people are living in a flood-prone area. The recent flood.
Mohammed has a situation report.
This is how the Apapa outward bound bridge was when the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, declared it unfit for traffic. He ordered the closure of the bridge and contractors began rehabilitation work immediately. Weeks after, the bridge wears a new look and is opened for traffic with the exception of heavy-duty vehicles.
Before I open this road, I have plenty. This road no good. Tomorrow night, we don't do okay.
As they block it and repair it now, we are very happy.
With the opening of the road now, I think this should make the traffic better.
In the meantime, heavy-duty vehicles will continue to use the alternative route. Construction supervisors here emphasize that this barrier behind me is going to be here temporarily, and as soon as repairs are completed on the bridge, this barrier is going to give way and heavy trucks will ply the bridge. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The airlift of intending Muslim pilgrims from Taraba State for the 2016 Hajj exercise has commenced at the Yola International Airport. Bilkisu Abubakar has details.
1,325 intending Muslim pilgrims have been registered for the 2016 Hajj exercise from Taraba State. 400 pilgrims are expected to be airlifted to Medina City of Saudi Arabia for the journey of faith per each flight.
Marvelously excited, and I feel spiritually connected to my Lord, who gave me a divine call, and I'm answering.
Glory be to God for making it possible for me to be part of this program. Alhamdulillah.
I want to pray seriously for the country and for the betterment of the economic situation in the country.
The Executive Secretary, Taraba State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, Omar Adamuleme, says all arrangements have been concluded towards ensuring hitch-free Hajj operations. He said the pilgrims have been educated on the obligations of the spiritual exercise and regulations of the Saudi authorities.
I always tell them to be work themselves, to be good ambassadors of not only Taraba but the whole country, that's Nigeria, to pray for the peace and progress of our nation, our state, pray for our leaders.
The representative of the Taraba State Amirul Hajj, Bashir Muhammad, has assured the pilgrims that their welfare will be accorded due priority. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
Nigerian Postal Service re-strategizes on efficient service delivery. Momso Damian Dati in Mina has details.
The Expedite Mail Service Nigeria is a product of the Universal Postal Union, established in 1986 as the courier and business arm of the Nigeria Postal Service, meant for effective and efficient collection, conveyance, and delivery of time-sensitive documents locally and internationally. In view of this, stakeholders from the sector converge on MENA to review their performance, assess their capacities and potentials, with a view to charting a path for efficient service delivery and improved revenue generation. The Postmaster General and Chief Executive Officer, BC Adebuyu, said the organization will not rest on its oars in carving a niche in ethical business practices that will culminate into good branding. The 3-day conference was declared open by Niger State Governor, represented by the Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Jonathan Vatsa.
We want to partner with them, one, in the area of security of their goods. The first is to upgrade our infrastructures and be ICT compliant.
14 papers were presented to guide the participants achieve world-class outfits. In Mina, Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
The National Unity and Peace Corps says if endorsed by President Muhammadu Buhari as envisaged come September 2016, it will work assiduously to complement other security agencies in entrenching peace and stability in the country. The Commandant General, Dr. Chinedu Neji, reiterated this at the training and passing out parade of the Corps in Abuja. Olajide Bello reports.
The Commandant General, Dr. Chinedu Nneji, says since the Corps was licensed in 2006, it has been at the forefront of peace and conflict resolution through dialogue. He reiterated the Corps' commitment to establish mediation centers across the country and employ a holistic approach towards resolving disputes and conflicts if given the mandate to function as a federal government parastatal.
Intend to use what we call civil functionality modality, where we make sure that all our members who hail from the crisis-prone zones are drafted to talk to their people through a persuasive approach to make sure that they lay down their arms, their anger, their grudges, and embrace dialogue.
Social security, even without arms, I believe this member will contribute excellently to the well-being of Nigeria.
The passing out parade was climaxed with presentation of trophies with Bauchi State Command of the Corps, Imagine Buena, from the NYC camp in Kubwa, Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Now talking sports, as the 2016 Rio Olympics in Rio de Janeiro finally climaxes with a closing ceremony Sunday midnight, Nigeria ends her campaign with a bronze medal in football event. Adeola Mokive has more on our sports update.
The United States of America lived up to expectations as they topped the medals table with a total of